At Sutter's Fort, I did not realize that I was so close to it, so it's a little impromptu, but let's go check out Sutter's Fort, the most famous fort in California. As we're walking up, let's keep this steady as I can. I didn't bring my tripod or anything with me, or my my gimbal, and so we'll see just how nice I can keep it. You can see it's right in the middle of downtown Sacramento, California. Makes me feel like I'm on California Gold, if any of you have ever seen that. Let's check out Sutter's Fort. Going through, seeing a little wagon. Doing some construction, but overall pretty nice. Sutter's Fort was named after John Sutter right there. It was a Swiss-born immigrant, something I definitely didn't know about Sutter's Fort. It was built by Hawaiians, and some of the first members of the colony were native Hawaiians. Aloha. There's a lot of people in there, so I didn't want to film too much or talk, I guess, just because that's kind of awkward. Cannon. I love me a good cannon. Big blockhouse. Cool bell. I'm not sure if this is an original, but only a spider. No middle bell thing. Some of the defensive structure here, these big giant spikes up at the top, which is pretty cool. You can see another cannon on that side, as well as that side. A lot of construction here, so not everything's open. Some things are covered. Like that, we can see right there is a cannon, but it's covered up because it's the winter time. I guess they didn't know I was coming. I didn't know I was coming until I looked and saw that it was only a block away from where I was. Interesting is it's the Mexican flag right there, because this was a Mexican fort originally. This nice little map, so you can kind of see what's going on. And you can see I'm right next to this cannon right now. Big cooking pot. And another one. You can see they definitely need to do some renovation on this, do some upkeep. I was at the Alamo a few years ago and it looked like a little bit more well kept than this one. Of course, the Alamo is the pride of Texas, and I guess people kind of forget about Sutter's Fort in California. So right here is the period kitchens. You can see all of the different cooking implements, that big giant fireplace. And this is a view from the other side. We can see that cannon. Pretty cool cathedral over there too. And then this right here is the distillery where they made some kind of liquor, I guess. It's a giant still. I don't know what kind of lumber this is. I mean, there's not a ton of redwoods around here. That's kind of a few hundred miles away. But it's big, thick timber all around here. We can see some grindstones for grinding grain. Stone that's been reconstructed right there. I imagine they'd probably then bring some of that over there. Up these rickety steps. Caution. Top of this watchtower, you can see we got a cannon right there that looks like, I don't know if they are repairing it or I guess it's kind of in the process. We have a awesome, beautiful cannon right there. You know I love a good cannon. Someday I will buy one. But first, I need to stop being so poor. The gun slits out here that they would have been firing down on any invading force. Being able to fire right there from protection. All the way down that whole line of sight. Sight up that cannon right there. I can focus and fire down on that park bench. Just like anything old, the doors are very short. Here's a carpentry shop. I definitely like some of that. I mean, look at those axes, some of these saws. I love some good carpentry. Took that class in high school. I don't know if they still offer those though. Tiny cannon, pencil sharpener. That is so fun.
Don't let it go to your head.
Another small room. I'm seeing some guns. Right here we can see a whole bunch of muskets. And a little tiny cannon right there. Gotta love a cannon. Also gotta love some muskets. Black powder is a super fun hobby to get into. I see some little barrels too. Some more footage of the fort. Okay, now we can kind of see that Mexican flag flying a little bit better. Without the eagle on it though. Wonder if that's some sort of historical aspect to it. Blacksmith shop. Big giant billows. Making some wagon wheels here. This is the candle shop. I'm wondering if they do some reenactments here because it smells like fire here. You can see some of those little candles. It would have had to make everything out here. It would have to have been a self-sustaining fort. This is a bedroom of the period. Very comfy bed. Little chamber pot. With, if you look, the chair has a hole in it that you could remove. The old trading post for people who need some shovels and furs and such. A lot of good, cool stuff in here too. Right here is the guard room. You can see some more muskets. And then right there is, I believe, a punt gun, but maybe it's some sort of defensive punt gun. I haven't really heard too much about people using them defensively. I'm sure you could. We got some swords right there too. And then of course some ramrods and stuff for the cannons. Some spears. Very cool room. Probably one of my favorites after the gunsmith shop. Might have been put onto this little swiveling mount. Kind of a swivel, more movable cannon, I guess. This is the Sutters Fort office. The Bobcat did not have a good day. Oof. Some more guns. The doctor's office. You can see some of these awful looking tools right there. Some patient's beds. Some natural medicines. I don't know if there's any mercury in here. I bet there is up on this top shelf. This is a dining room. Coming through here. Finally a door I can fit through. And then this is the parlor. How fancy. They still have a parlor. Look at a nice view from on top of the fort. That cool cathedral. Some other old buildings in the background. Cooking fire right here. Coming up on this little covered wagon. It's a little bit more covered than it probably normally is. Side of the fort now, and we got a nice duck pond here, and right over here is the California Native American Museum. Another beautiful cathedral, Catholic cathedral, if I'm not mistaken. Right here. I'm not sure about the age yet. It looks like it is not currently open. So I probably won't be able to go inside. But now we're coming up to the other side of the fort with another duck pond. Sutters Fort State Historic Park. So 1839 is when this was built.